Hi, Cathy Naiser here, Realtor with Keller Realty City Views, serving Comal County and San Antonio, Bexar County and surrounding. So we just got our stats in, and I'm going to review on this one the stats for Canyon Lake. So just to show you where we are, this is looking at 78133, that zip code, which encompasses both sides of Canyon Lake. There's a little bit on the end that doesn't get covered by it, but mostly 78133 does it. So these are the stats for 78133 as of April of 2025. So if you look here, it'll say the sales. So in 78133, April of 25, there were 32 sales. Last year, so in 2024, there were 49 sales in April. So that is down 35%. Year to date in 78133, we've had 127 sales, and year to date last year there were 138. So not quite as much of a drop year to date. I think part of that was because April was a particularly big year this year, or March was rather. Last year, you can see here are the sales for the last 12 months. So March had 53 sales, April only had 39 in 78133. Here is a breakdown, and I found this very interesting. So the sweet spot, 250 to 299,000. There were seven sales. Everything else was just two or three. Every other $100,000 range. Now, but that included all the way to the million. So 1 million, 1.99 million. There were three sales in April. And if we look back, there were 9 year to date in that in the top price range. In 2024, the year to date, there were 8. So the upper price range is actually doing very, very well. The 250 to 299, 300 to 350 range is the biggest area of sales. What we've seen is, if we go back to the full stats, this year the list price average was $492,000. The year to date, or last year, the sales price average was $386, so that actually has gone up some. Year to date, the average sales price is $452, which sounds healthy for that many. What this isn't telling us is the entire number of the months of inventory for all of Canyon Lake. And so I'm going to go somewhere else just a moment here. So when we pull up the San Antonio Board of Realtors multiple listing service, and I really work to delete the duplicates. Many of us are members both of San Antonio Board of Realtors and Austin Board of Realtors. So when the listings show up, the Austin Board of Realtors or Houston Board of Realtors, some of them are duplicates. It's the same listing. So I went through and pulled up all the active listings in 78133, got rid of the duplicates, and saw that we have 467 active listings right now in 78133. Now let's go back to our chart of stats for 78133. We had 32 sales. Those are residential homes. Total 39 when you add new builds. So year to date, we've had 159 sales this year. If we take 159 and divide that by 4, because they're April, it's 39.75. If we take 467 active listings and divide it by 39.75, it means that the total there is 11.75. That's the months of inventory. That's how many months it would take to sell all the listings on the market in 78133 if no new houses came on the market. Now, 11.75 months is a lot of time. That's a very huge inventory, and that's why sales feel like they're slow. Now, if we took that, we could actually find the same thing for each one of these price levels, but this is for right now the total number of sales in the San Antonio MLS for 78133. Now let's compare this to the entire San Antonio Board of Realtors. So if we look at the San Antonio Board of Realtors, that is all counties around San Antonio all together, we will see that there are 15,178 listings. That is existing homes and new build homes. So existing homes 11,000, new build homes 4,152. Totally 15,178. Year to date in the San Antonio Board of Realtors, there were 10,516 total sales. 10,516 divided by 4. That means 2,629 are selling on the average, and that is new and existing homes. So if we take the total 15,178 divided by 2,629, it tells us that we have a 5.77 month inventory. Last month it was a 5.2 month. Before that it was a 5 month. So inventory around the San Antonio Multiple Listing Service is growing, even though it is the time when typically we have more sales. But the 5.77 month inventory, compare that now to 11.75 month inventory in 78133. We have not in the San Antonio Board of Realtors had a 5 month inventory since 2012. We have 15,000 homes on the market. That is more than we've had since 2012. And that was right after the Great Recession. 5 month inventory is huge. 11 month inventory is just unbelievable. So if you're in 78133 and you really want to sell, call me and let's talk about what the strategy is in your price range with what is selling and what is not. And let's get your home on the market at a price where it will be one of the ones who sell, not the one of the ones who list. So I hope this has been informative and helpful. I'm Cathy Naiser. If you're looking to buy a home that's a lakefront or lakeview property, I give my lakefront and lakeview properties tours of the lake from the lake, because I believe that the best way to learn about the lake is from the lake, and you want to be sure and know that before you buy a property here. All right, take care. Again, Cathy Naiser. Have a great day.